America for Me by Henry Van Dyke. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. 'Tis fine to see the old world and travel up and down among the famous palaces and cities of renown, to admire the crumbly castles and the statues of the kings. But now I think I've had enough of antiquated things. So it's home again and home again, America for me. My heart is turning home again, and there I long to be, in the land of youth and freedom beyond the ocean bars, where the air is full of sunlight and the flag is full of stars. Oh, London is a man's town, there's power in the air, and Paris is a woman's town, with flowers in her hair. And it's sweet to dream in Venice, and it's great to study Rome, but when it comes to living, there is no place like home. I like the German fir woods in green battalions drilled. I like the gardens of Versailles, with flashing fountains filled. But oh, to take your hand, my dear, and ramble for a day in the friendly western woodland where nature has her way. I know that Europe's wonderful, yet something seems to lack. The past is too much with her, and the people looking back. But the glory of the present is to make the future free. We love our land for what she is, and what she is to be. Oh, it's home again and home again, America for me. I want a ship that's westward bound to plow the rolling sea to the blessed land of room enough beyond the ocean bars, where the air is full of sunlight and the flag is full of stars. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
An Argument by Thomas Moore, dedicated by the author to any Phyllis or Chloe. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira, November 2015. I've oft been told by learned friars that wishing and the crime are one, and heaven punishes desires as much as if the deed were done. If wishing damns us, you and I are damned to all our heart's content. Come then, at least we may enjoy some pleasure for our punishment. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
As Imperceptibly as Grief by Emily Dickinson. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. As imperceptibly as grief the summer lapsed away, too imperceptible at last to seem like perfidy. A quietness distilled, as twilight long begun, or nature spending with herself sequestered afternoon. The dusk drew earlier in, the morning foreign shone, a courteous yet harrowing grace, as guest who would be gone. And thus, without a wing or service of a keel, our summer made her light escape into the beautiful. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
At Sea by James Whitcomb Riley. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Oh, we go down to sea in ships, but hope remains behind, and love with laughter on his lips, and peace of passive mind. While out across the deeps of night, with lifted sails of prayer, we voyage off in quest of light, nor find it anywhere. O thou who wroughtest earth and sea, yet keepest from our eyes the shores of an eternity, in calms of paradise, blow back upon our foolish quest with all the driving rain of blinding tears and wild unrest, and waft us home again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Ballad of the Black Fox Skin by Robert W. Service. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Schempf. There was claw-fingered Kitty and Windy Ike living the life of shame, when unto them in the long, long night came the man who had no name, bearing his prize of a black fox pelt. Out of the wild he came. His cheeks were blanched as the flume-head foam when the brown spring freshets flow. Deep in their dark, sin-calcined pits were his sombre eyes aglow. They knew him far for the fitful man who spat forth blood on the snow. "Did ever you see such a skin?" quoth he. "There's naught in the world so fine. Such fullness of fur as black as the night, such luster, such size, such shine. It's life to a one-lunged man like me. It's London, it's women, it's wine. The Moosehides call it the devil fox and swore that no man could kill, that he who hunted it soon or late must surely suffer some ill. But I laughed at them and their old squaw tales. Ha ha ha! I'm laughing still. For look ye, the skin, it's smooth as sin and black as the core of the pit. By gun or by trap, whatever the hap, I swore I would capture it. By star and by star, afield and afar, I hunted and would not quit. For the devil fox, it was swift and sly, and it seemed to fleer at me. I would wake in fright by the campfire light, hearing its evil glee. Into my dream its eyes would gleam, and its shadow would I see. It sniffed and ran from the ptarmigan I had poisoned to excess. Unharmed it sped from my wrathful lead. 'Twas if I shot by guess. Yet it came by night in the stark moonlight to mock at my weariness. I tracked it up where the mountains hunch like the vertebrae of the world. I tracked it down to the death-still pits where the avalanche is hurled. From the glooms to the sacerdotal snows where the carded clouds are curled. From the vastitudes where the world protrudes through clouds like seas upshoaled. I held its track till it led me back to the land I had left of old. The land I had looted many moons. I was weary and sick and cold. I was sick, soul sick of the futile chase. And there and then I swore the foul fiend fox might scatheless go, for I would hunt no more. Then I rubbed mine eyes in a vast surprise. It stood by my cabin door. A rifle raised in the wraith-like gloom, and a vengeful shot that sped. A howl that would thrill a cream-faced corpse, and the demon fox lay dead. Yet there was never a sign of wound, and never a drop he bled. So that was the end of the great black fox, and here is the prize I've won. And now for a drink to cheer me up. I've mushed since the early sun. We'll drink a toast to the sorry ghost of the fox whose race is run. Now Claw-fingered Kitty and Windy Ike, bad as the worst were they. In their roadhouse down by the river trail they waited and watched for prey. With wine and song they joyed night long, and they slept like swine by day. For things were done in the midnight sun that no tongue will ever tell, and men there be who walk earth free, but whose names are writ in hell. Are writ in flames with the guilty names of Fournier and La Belle. Put not your trust in a poke of dust would ye sleep the sleep of sin, for there be those who would rob your clothes ere yet the dawn comes in. And a prize likewise in a woman's eyes is a peerless black fox skin. Put your faith in the mountain cat if you lie within his lair. Trust the fangs of a mother wolf and the claws of a lead-ripped bear. But oh, of the wiles and the gold-toothed smiles of a dance-hall wench beware. Wherefore it was beyond all laws the lusts of man restrain. A man drank deep and sank to sleep, never to wake again. And the Yukon swallowed through a hole the cold corpse of the slain. The black fox skin a shadow cast from the roof nigh to the floor, and sleek it seemed, and soft it gleamed, and the woman stroked it o'er. And the man stood by with a brooding eye, and gnashed his teeth and swore. When thieves and thugs fall out and fight, there's fell arrears to pay, and soon or late sin meets its fate, and so it fell one day that claw-fingered Kitty and Windy Ike fanged up like dogs at bay. "The skin is mine, all mine," she cried, "I did the deed alone." "It's share and share with guilt-yoked pair," he hissed in pregnant tone. And so they snarled like malamutes over a mildewed bone. And so they fought, by fear untaught, till haply it befell one dawn of day she slipped away to Dawson town to sell the fruit of sin, this black fox skin that had made their lives a hell. She slipped away as still he lay, she clutched the wondrous fur. Her pulses beat, her foot was fleet, her fear was as a spur. She laughed with glee, she did not see him rise and follow her. The bluffs uprear and grimly peer far over Dawson town. They see its lights ablaze o' nights, and harshly they look down. They mock the plan and plot of man with grim, ironic frown. The trail was steep, 'twas at the time when swiftly sinks the snow. All honeycombed the river ice was rotting down below. The river chafed beneath its rind with many a mighty throw. And up the swift and oozy drift a woman climbed in fear, clutching to her a black fox fur as if she held it dear. And hard she pressed it to her breast. Then Windy Ike drew near. She made no moan, her heart was stone, she read his smiling face. And like a dream flashed all her life's dark horror and disgrace. A moment only, with a snarl, he hurled her into space. She rolled for nigh 100 feet. She bounded like a ball. From crag to crag she caromed down through snow and timber fall. A hole gaped in the river ice. The spray flashed. That was all. A bird sang for the joy of spring, so piercing, sweet, and frail. And blinding bright the land was dight in gay and glittering mail. And with a wondrous black fox skin, a man slid down the trail. A wedge-faced man there was who ran along the river bank, who stumbled through each drift and slough, and ever slipped and sank, and ever cursed his Maker's name, and ever hooch he drank. He traveled like a hunted thing, hard-harried, sore distressed. The old grandmother moon crept out from her cloud-quilted nest. The aged mountains mocked at him in their primeval rest. Grim shadows diapered the snow, the air was strangely mild. The valley's girth was dumb with mirth, the laughter of the wild, the still, sardonic laughter of an ogre or a child. The river writhed beneath the ice, it groaned like one in pain, and yawning chasms opened wide and closed and yawned again, and sheets of silver heaved on high until they split in twain. From out the roadhouse by the trail they saw a man afar make for the narrow river reach where the swift cross-currents are, where frail and worn the ice is torn and the angry waters jar. But they did not see him crash and sink into the icy flow. They did not see him clinging there, gripped by the undertow, clawing with bleeding fingernails at the jagged ice and snow. They found a note beside the hole where he had stumbled in. Here met his fate by evil luck a man who lived in sin. And to the one who loves me least I leave this black fox skin. And strange it is, for though they searched the river all around, no trace or sign of black fox skin was ever after found. Though one man said he saw the tread of hoofs deep in the ground. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Burning Babe by Robert Southall, S.J. Read for LibriVox.org by Tony Addison. As I in hoary winter's night stood shivering in the snow, surprised I was with sudden heat, which made my heart to glow. And lifting up a fearful eye to view what fire was near, a pretty babe all burning bright did in the air appear, whose scorched head with excessive heat such floods of tears did shed, as though his blood should quench his flames, which with his tears were fed. Alas, quoth he, but newly born, in fiery heats I fry, yet none approach to warm their hearts, or feel my fire but I. My faultless breast the furnace is, the fuel of wounding thorns. Love is the fire, and sighs the smoke, the ashes shame and scorns. The fuel justice layeth on, and mercy blows the coals. The metal in this furnace wrought are men's defiled souls, for which as now on fire I am to work them to their good. So will I melt into a bath, to wash them in my blood. With this he vanished out of sight, and swiftly shrunk away, and straight I call it unto mind that it was Christmas Day. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Discovered by Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Read for LibriVox.org by Isaiah Barker of Binghamton, New York. Seen you down at church last night. Never mind, Miss Lucy. What I mean? Oh, that's all right. Never mind, Miss Lucy. You was smart as smart could be, but you couldn't hide from me. Ain't I got two eyes to see? Never mind, Miss Lucy. Guess you thought you was awful keen. Never mind, Miss Lucy. Everything you done I seen. Never mind, Miss Lucy. Seen him take your arm just so, when he got outside the door. Oh, I know that man's your beau. Never mind, Miss Lucy. Say now, honey, what'd he say? Never mind, Miss Lucy. Keep your secrets, that's your way. Never mind, Miss Lucy. Won't tell me and I'm your pal. I'm gwine tell his other gal. Know her too, her name is Sal. Never mind, Miss Lucy. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Iris by Michael Field. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. The iris was yellow, the moon was pale, in the air it was stiller than snow. There was even light through the veil, but a vaporous sheet clung about my feet, and I dared no further go. I had passed the pond, I could see the stile, the path was plain for more than a mile, yet I dared no further go. The iris bed shone in my face when, whist, a noiseless music began to blow, a music that moved through the mist, that had not begun, would never be done. With that music I must go. And I found myself in the heart of the tune, reeling around to the whir of the moon with the sheets of the mist below. In my hands how warm were the little hands, strange little hands that I did not know. I did not think of the elven bands, nor of anything in that whirling ring. Here a cock began to crow. The little hands dropped that had clung so tight, and I saw again, by the pale dawn light, the iris heads in a row. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Keep Going by Edgar A. Guest. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is strange with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup, and he learned too late, when the night slipped down, how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tent of the clouds of doubt, and you never can tell just how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Light on the Wreck by Henry Lawson. Read for LibriVox.org by Son of the Exiles. The Light on the Wreck. Out there by the rocks at the end of the bank, in the mouth of the river, the Wanderer sank. She is resting where meet the blue water and green, and only her masts and her funnel are seen. And you see, when is fading the sunset's last fleck, on her foremast a lantern, a light on a wreck. 'Tis a light on a wreck warning ships to beware of the drowned-ironed hull of the Wanderer there. And the ships that come in and go out in the night keep a careful look-out for the Wanderer's light. There are rules for the harbour and rules for the wave, but all captains steer clear of the Wanderer's grave. And the stories of strong lives that ended in wrecks might be likened to lights over derelict decks, like the light where, in sight of the streets of the town, in the mouth of the channel the Wanderer went down. Keep a watch from the desk as they watch from the deck, keep a watch from your home for the light on the wreck. But the lights on the wreck since creation began have been shining in vain for the vagabond clan. They will never take warning, they will not beware, for they hold for their mottos, what matter, what care? And they sail without compass, they sail without check, till they steer to their grave 'neath a light on a wreck. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Man of Many Parts by James Whitcomb Riley. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. It was a man of many parts, who in his coffer mind had stored the classics and the arts and sciences combined. The purest gems of poesy came flashing from his pen, the wholesome truths of history he gave his fellow men. He knew the stars from Dog to Mars, and he could tell you, too, their distances as though the cars had often checked him through, and time 'twould take to reach the sun, or by the Milky Way drop in upon the moon, or run the homeward trip, or stay. With logic at his fingers' ends, theology in mind, he often entertained his friends until they died resigned. And with inquiring mind intent upon alchemic arts, a dynamite experiment. A man of many parts. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Mental Traveller by William Blake. Read for LibriVox.org by Tony Addison. I travelled through a land of men and women too, and heard and saw such dreadful things as cold earth wanderers never knew. For there the babe is born in joy, that was begotten in dire woe, just as we reap in joy the fruit which we in bitter tears did sow. And if the babe is born a boy, he's given to a woman old, who nails him down upon a rock, catches his shrieks in cups of gold. She binds iron thorns around his head, and pierces both his hands and feet, and cuts his heart out of his side, to make it feel both cold and heat. Her fingers number every nerve, just as a miser counts his gold. She lives upon his shrieks and cries, and she grows young as he grows old, till he becomes a bleeding youth, and she becomes a virgin bright. Then he rends up his manacles, and pins her down for his delight. He plants himself in all her nerves, just as a husbandman his mould, and she becomes his dwelling place and garden, fruitful 70-fold. An aged shadow soon he fades, wandering round an earthly cot, fulfilled all with gems and gold, which he by industry had got. And these are the gems of the human soul, the rubies and pearls of a lovesick eye, the countless gold of an aching heart, the martyr's groan and the lover's sigh. They are his meat, they are his drink, he feeds the beggar and the poor, and the wayfaring traveller for ever open is his door. His grief is their eternal joy, they make the roofs and walls to ring, till from the fire on the hearth a little female babe does spring. And she is all of solid fire, and gems and gold, that none his hand dares stretch to touch her baby form, or wrap her in his swaddling band. But she comes to the man she loves, if young or old, or rich or poor. They soon drive out the aged host, a beggar at another's door. He wanders weeping far away, until some other take him in, oft blind and age-bent, sore distressed, until he can a maiden win. And to allay his freezing age, the poor man takes her in his arms. The cottage fades before his sight, the garden and its lovely charms. The guests are scattered through the land, for the eye altering alters all. The senses roll themselves in fear, and the flat earth becomes a ball. The stars, sun, moon, all shrink away, a desert vast without a bound, and nothing left to eat or drink, and the dark desert all around. The honey of her infant lips, the bread and wine of her sweet smile, the wild game of her roving eye, does him to infancy beguile. For as he eats and drinks he grows younger and younger every day, and on the desert wild they both wander in terror and dismay. Like the wild stag she flees away, her fear plants many a thicket wild, while he pursues her night and day, by various arts of love beguiled, by various arts of love and hate, till the wide desert planted o'er with labyrinths of wayward love, where roams the lion, wolf, and boar, till he becomes a wayward babe, and she a weeping woman old. Then many a lover wanders here, the sun and stars are nearer rolled. The trees bring forth sweet ecstasy to all who in the desert roam, till many a city there is built, and many a pleasant shepherd's home. But when they find the frowning babe, terror strikes through the region wide. They cry, the babe is born, and flee away on every side. For who dare touch the frowning form, his arm is withered to its root. Lions, boars, wolves, all howling flee, and every tree does shed its fruit. And none can touch that frowning form, except it be a woman old. She nails him down upon the rock, and all is done as I have told. End of The Mental Traveller. This recording is in the public domain.
Never Give All the Heart by William Butler Yeats. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Never give all the heart, for love will hardly seem worth thinking of to passionate women, if it seems certain, and they never dream that it fades out from kiss to kiss. For everything that's lovely is but a brief, dreamy, kind delight. Oh, never give the heart outright, for they, for all smooth lips can say, have given their hearts up to the play, and who could play it well enough if deaf and dumb and blind with love? He that made this knows all the cost, for he gave all his heart and lost. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
No, by Thomas Hood. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira. November 2015. No sun, no moon, no morn, no noon, no dawn, no dusk, no proper time of day, no sky, no earthly view, no distance looking blue, no road, no street, no t'other side the way, no end to any row, no indications where the crescents go, no top to any steeple, no recognitions of familiar people, no courtesies for showing 'em, no knowing 'em, no travelling at all, no locomotion, no inkling of the way, no notion, no go by land or ocean, no mail, no post, no news from any foreign coast, no park, no ring, no afternoon gentility, no company, no nobility, no warmth, no cheerfulness, no healthful ease, no comfortable feel in any member, no shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds, November. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. November by Sarah Teasdale. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira. November 2015. The world is tired, the year is old, the little leaves are glad to die, the wind goes shivering with cold among the rushes dry. Our love is dying like the grass, and we who kissed grow coldly kind, half glad to see our poor love pass, like leaves along the wind. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Private Theatricals by James Whitcomb Riley. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. A quite convincing axiom is life is like a play, for turning back its pages some few dog-eared years away, I find where I committed my love tale, with brackets where to sigh. I feel an idle interest to read again the page. I enter as a lover dressed at 20 years of age, and play the part with throbbing heart and all an actor's glowing art. And she who plays my lady love excels. Her loving glance has power her audience to move. I am her audience. Her acting tact, to tell the fact, brings down the house in every act. And often we defy the curse of storms and thunder showers to meet together and rehearse this little play of ours. I think when she makes love to me, she kisses very naturally. Yes, it's convincing, rather, that life is like a play. I am playing heavy father in a screaming farce today that so brings down the house I frown, and fain would ring the curtain down. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Snows They Melt the Soonest by Thomas Doubleday. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Oh, the snow it melts the soonest when the winds begin to sing, and the corn it ripens fastest when the frosts are setting in. And when a woman tells me that my face she'll soon forget, before we part I wad a crown she's fain to follow't yet. The snow it melts the soonest when the wind begins to sing, and the swallow skims without a thought as long as it is spring. But when spring goes and winter blows, my lass, and you'll be fain for all your pride to follow me or cross the stormy main. Oh, the snow it melts the soonest when the wind begins to sing. The bee that flew when summer shined in winter cannot sting. I've seen a woman's anger melt between the night and morn, and it's surely not a harder thing to tame a woman's scorn. Oh, never say me farewell here, no farewell I'll receive, for you shall set me to the stile, and kiss and take your leave. But I'll stay here till the woodcock comes, and the martlet takes his wing, since the snow aye melts the soonest, lass, when the wind begins to sing. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Southerly Buster by Henry Lawson. Read for LibriVox.org by Son of the Exiles. The Southerly Buster. There's a wind that blows out of the south in the drought, and we pray for the touch of his breath, when siroccos come forth from the northwestern north, or in dead calms of fever and death. With eyes glad and dim we should sing him a hymn, for depression and death are his foes, and he gives us new life for the bread-winning strife when the glorious old southerly blows. Old southerly Buster, your forces you muster where seldom a wind bloweth twice, and your whitecaps have hint of the snowcaps and glint of the far-away barriers of ice. No wind the wide Sion can sing such a paean, or do the great work that you do. Our own wind and only, from seas wild and lonely, old southerly Buster, to you. Oh, the city is baked and its thirst is unslaked, though it swallows ice drinks by the score, and the blurred sky is low and the air seems aglow as if breezes would cool it no more. We are watching all hands where the post office stands, we are watching out hopefully too, for a red light shall glower from the post office tower when the southerly Buster is due. The yachts run away at the end of the day from the breakers commencing to comb, for a few he may swamp in the health-giving romp with the friendly old southerly home. But he never drowns one, for the drowning is done by the fools or the reckless in sport, and the alleys and slums shall be cooled when he comes with the weary windjammers to port. Oh, softly he plays through the city's hot ways to the beds where they're calling come quick. He is gentle and mild round the feverish child, and he cools the hot brow of the sick. Clearing drought-hazy skies up the north coast he hies till the mouths of our rivers are fair, and along the sea too he has good work to do, for he takes the old timber tubs there. 'Tis a glorious mission, old Sydney's physician, broom bucket and cloth of the east. 'Tis a breeze and a sprayer that answers our prayer, and it's free to the greatest and least. The red lamp's a warning to drought and its scorning, a sign to the city at large. Hence headache and worry, despondency, hurry, old southerly Buster's in charge. Old southerly Buster, your forces you muster where seldom a wind bloweth twice, and your whitecaps have hint of the snowcaps and glint of the far-away barriers of ice. No wind the wide Sion can sing such a paean, or do the great work that you do. Our own wind and only, from seas wild and lonely, old southerly Buster, to you. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Thanksgiving by Edgar Guest. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. Gettin' together to smile and rejoice, and eatin' and laughin' with folks of your choice, and kissin' the girls and declarin' that they are growin' more beautiful day after day. Chattin' and braggin' a bit with the men, buildin' the old family circle again. Livin' the wholesome and old-fashioned cheer just for a while at the end of the year. Greetings fly fast as we crowd through the door, and under the old roof we gather once more, just as we did when the youngsters were small. Mother's a little bit grayer, that's all. Father's a little bit older, but still ready to romp and to laugh with a will. Here we are back at the table again, tellin' our stories as women and men. Bowed are our heads for a moment in prayer. Oh, but we're grateful and glad to be there. Home from the Eastland and home from the West, home with the folks that are dearest and best. Out of the sham of the cities afar, we've come for a time to be just what we are. Here we can talk of ourselves and be frank, forgettin' position and station and rank. Give me the end of the year and its fun, when most of the plannin' and toilin' is done. Bring all the wanderers home to the nest. Let me sit down with the ones I love best. Hear the old voices still ringin' with song, see the old faces unblemished by wrong. See the old table with all of its chairs, and I'll put soul in my Thanksgiving prayers. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Teak Forest by Lawrence Hope. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Whether I loved you, who shall say? Whether I drifted down your way in the endless river of chance and change, and you woke the strange, unknown longings that have no names, but burn us all in their hidden flames, who shall say? Life is a strange and a wayward thing. We heard the bells of the temples ring, the married children in passing sing. The month of marriage, the month of spring, was full of the breath of sunburnt flowers that bloom in a fiercer light than ours, and, under a sky more fiercely blue, I came to you. You told me tales of your vivid life, where death was cruel and danger rife, of deep, dark forests, of poisoned trees, of pains and passions that scorch and freeze, of southern noontides and eastern nights, where love grew frantic with strange delights, while men were slaying and maidens danced, till I, who listened, lay still, entranced. Then, swift as a swallow heading south, I kissed your mouth. One night when the plains were bathed in blood from sunset light in a crimson flood, we wandered under the young teak trees, whose branches whined in the light night breeze. You led me down to the water's brink, the spring where panthers come to drink at night. There is always water here, be the season never so parched and sere. Have we souls of beasts in the forms of men? I fain would have tasted your lifeblood then. The night fell swiftly, this sudden land Can never lend us a twilight strand Twixt the daylight shore and the ocean night, but takes, as it gives, at once the light. We laid us down on the steep hillside, while far below us wild peacocks cried, and we sometimes heard, in the sunburnt grass, the stealthy steps of the jungle pass. We listened, knew not whether they went, on love or hunger the more intent. And under your kisses I hardly knew whether I loved or hated you. But your words were flame and your kisses fire, and who shall resist a strong desire? not I, whose life is a broken boat on a sea of passions adrift, afloat. And, whether I came in love or hate, that I came to you was written by fate, in every hue of the blood-red sky, in every tone of the peacock's cry, while every gust of the jungle night was fanning the flame you had set alight. For these things have power to stir the blood and compel us all to their own chance mood. And to love or not, we are no more free than a ripple to rise and leave the sea. We are ever and always slaves of these, the suns that scorch and the winds that freeze, of the faint sweet scents of the sultry air, of the half-heard howl from the far-off lair. These chance things master us ever, compel to the heights of heaven, the depths of hell. Whether I love you? You do not ask, nor waste yourself on the thankless task. I give your kisses at least return, what matter whether they freeze or burn? I feel the strength of your fervent arms, what matter whether it heals or harms? You are wise, you take what the gods have sent, you ask no questions but rest content. So I am with you to take your kiss, and perhaps I value you more for this. For this is wisdom, to love, to live, to take what fate, or the gods, may give, to ask no question, to make no prayer, to kiss the lips and caress the hair, speed passion's ebb as you greet its flow, to have, to hold, and, in time, let go. And this is our wisdom, we rest together on the great lone hills in the storm-filled weather, and watch the skies as they pale and burn, the golden stars in their orbits turn, while love is with us, and time and peace, and life has nothing to give but these. But whether you love me, who shall say, or whether you, drifting down my way in the great sad river of chance and change, with your looks so weary and words so strange, lit my soul from some hidden flame to a passionate longing without a name, who shall say? Not I, who am but a broken boat, content for a while to drift afloat in the little noontide of love's delights between two nights. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Tom o' Bedlam's Song, read for LibriVox.org by Tony Addison. From the hag and hungry goblin that into rags would rend ye, all the spirits that stand by the naked man in the Book of Moons defend ye. That of your 5 sound senses ye never be forsaken, nor never travel from yourselves with Tom abroad to beg your bacon, nor never sing any food and feeding, money, drink, or clothing. Come dame or maid, be not afraid, poor Tom will injure nothing. Of 30 bare years have I twice 20 been enraged, and of 40 been 3 times 15 endurance soundly caged in the lovely lofts of Bedlam, in stubble soft and dainty, brave bracelets strong, sweet whips ding dong, and a wholesome hunger plenty. Yet did I sing any food and feeding, money, drink, or clothing. Come dame or maid, be not afraid, poor Tom will injure nothing. With a thought I took for maudlin, and a cruse of cockle pottage, and a thing thus tall Sky bless you all. I fell into this dotage. I slept not since the conquest. Till then I never waked till the roguish boy of love where I lay me found and stripped me naked. Yet do I sing any food and feeding, money, drink, or clothing. Come dame or maid, be not afraid. Poor Tom will injure nothing. When short I have shorn my sow's face, and swigged my horned barrel in an oaken inn, do I pawn my skin as a suit of gilt apparel. The moon's my constant mistress, and the lonely owl my marrow. The flaming drake and the night crow make me music to my sorrow. Yet do I sing any food and feeding, money, drink, or clothing. Come dame or maid, be not afraid. Poor Tom will injure nothing. The palsy plague these pounces when a prig your pigs are pulling. Your culbers take or makeless make your shanted clear and sullen. When I want Brabant with Humphrey or sup, and when benighted to repose in Paul's with waking souls, I never am affrighted. Yet do I sing any food and feeding, money, drink, or clothing. Come dame or maid, be not afraid. Poor Tom will injure nothing. I know more than Apollo, for oft when he lies sleeping, I behold the stars at mortal wars, and the rounded welkin weeping. The moon embraces her shepherd, and the queen of love a warrior, while the first doth horn the stars of the morn, and the next the heavenly farrier. And yet do I sing any food and feeding, money, drink, or clothing. Come dame or maid, be not afraid. Poor Tom will injure nothing. With a host of furious fancies, whereof I am commander, with a burning spear and a horse of air, to the wilderness I wandered, with a night of ghosts and shadows. I summoned them to turning 10 leagues beyond the wide world's end, and methinks it is no journey. Yet do I sing any food and feeding, money, drink, or clothing. Come dame or maid, be not afraid. Poor Tom will injure nothing. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Two Songs by William Blake. Read for LibriVox.org by John Burlinson. The Two Songs. I heard an angel singing when the day was springing. Mercy, pity, and peace are the world's release. So he sang all day over the new-mown hay, till the sun went down and haycocks looked brown. I heard a devil curse over the heath and the furse. Mercy could be no more if there were nobody poor, and pity no more could be if all were happy as ye. And mutual fear brings peace. Miseries increase our mercy, pity, peace. At his curse the sun went down, and the heavens gave a frown. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Uphill by Christina Rossetti, read for LibriVox.org by Becca Maggie. Does the road wind uphill all the way? Yes, to the very end. Will the day's journey take the whole long day? From morn to night, my friend. But is there for the night a resting place? A roof, for when the slow dark hours begin. May not the darkness hide it from my face? You cannot miss that inn. Shall I meet other wayfarers at night? Those who have gone before. Then must I knock or call when just in sight? They will not keep you standing at that door. Shall I find comfort, travel sore and weak? Of labor you shall find the sum. Will there be beds for me and all who seek? Yea, beds for all who come. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Wizard's Funeral by Richard Watson Dixon. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. For me, 2 horses wait. 2 horses stand before my gate. Their vast black plumes on high are cast, their black manes swing in the midnight blast. Red sparkles from their eyes fly fast. But can they drag the hearse behind, whose black plumes mystify the wind? What a thing for this heap of bones and hair! Despair, despair! Yet think of half the world's winged shapes which have come to thee wondering. At thee the terrible idiot gapes, at thee the running devil japes, and angels stoop to thee and sing from the soft midnight that enwraps their limbs so gently, sadly fair. Thou seest the stars shine through their hair. The blast again, ho ho, the blast! I go to a mansion that shall outlast, and the stoled priest 2 steps before shall turn and welcome me at the door. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.